My name is Carol Akerlof, and I'm the director of the Bird Center of Washtenaw County. If I look back on my life and try to remember my first encounters with birds, it goes back to my childhood outside of Erie, Pennsylvania on a country road. There were what we called wild canaries living. It was not very built up at that time. But the traffic along the road went very fast, and often we would find these beautiful little yellow birds dead. My mother seemed to always have an endless supply of matchboxes, the large matchboxes, which we would put little bits of cloth in and put the little dead wild canary in it. And we had a wagon, and I'm trying to think of a tricycle, and somehow we made a little funeral procession. We had a long driveway, and we would go up and down the long driveway making a funeral procession, and then bury the poor little birds that we found. After that, I didn't really hold another live bird until my husband and I moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan in the 60s. And I was walking our dog in Winchell Park and saw something moving near a fence, and started to walk toward it and realized that it was a bird entangled in some kind of string. And so I took the dog back and left the dog behind and came back without the dog, got the bird off of the athletic fencing it was entangled on, went back to our apartment and got some cuticle scissors and went out in a little enclosed area and was just slowly cutting the string, which was really tightly wound around one of its legs, off. And when I cut through the last bit of the string, the bird bit me. At which point I dropped it, and it flew into my neighbor's sort of walled-in little garden. And I told my neighbor to put some food and water out for it. But I think that as soon as the string came off, the feeling came back, and that's why I got bitten. Then it was quite a number of years until I got something else. The family was walking on Sunday morning to the Food and Drug Mart to buy the New York Times, and there had been a big storm the night before, and as we walked back home along Stadium, we saw remnants of branches down and some remnants of a nest. And I said something and I think there were a dead baby bird or two in the remnants of the nest. And I mentioned to my children, well, why don't you look in the grass and see if there's anything more? And wonder of wonders, there was one baby robin still alive in the grass. It was a chilly morning, so I took the bird and put it under my jacket and went home with it that way. And then called the local Audubon Society number, which was answered by Barbara Settinger. And I said, I have this baby robin. I have no idea what to do with it. And the tree was really high and the nest is down. I don't think we can put it back. So she gave me a homemade formula, which involved a jar of a certain size and some beef dog food and a whole egg, or maybe an egg yolk, and add some milk up to a certain line and mix it up and feed it to the baby bird. And we did this, and we raised it and let it go. That summer we went away, and some people were in our house. I have sort of blondish hair. And the people who were in the house saw the robin. And the woman said it would come up toward us, but wouldn't come to us. And she felt it was because her hair was dark and not blonde. She thought maybe if she'd had blonde hair, it would have come up closer. But we knew it made it a certain amount of time. After that, I ended up with a mourning dove, and that was really funny because by then I'd learned that bird song is important and that there's a time when birds have to learn their song. And I certainly didn't do a very good mourning dove imitation, so I got some tapes. And the tape I had said page 84, mourning dove, and then it gave the mourning dove call. But the problem was that the tape was not accurate enough that you couldn't play the song without getting the page 84. I couldn't advance it enough so that it just started with the mourning dove song. So my husband said, Carol, that's going to be the only mourning dove in the world that sits up in the tree and goes, page 84, mourning dove. Yeah, at any rate. That one we released also. And luckily, by then we started getting birds and we'd get more than one. And that makes life a lot easier. I'm not sure the exact year when we got the city of Ann Arbor to give us 926 Mary Street during the summer. It's a polling station. They only use 3 days a year. So when we got Mary Street, we have volunteers, but we also started getting student interns. And we were by then sending out fundraising letters and were able to pay our student interns the minimum wage. We started out the first year with maybe 1 intern or 2 interns. We're up to about 13 a year now. I think my husband says that's the part of your program you should be proudest of. We train some really good student interns. So it's never been boring, and we never know what's coming in the door. It's been a very interesting